What did a fictional character say that has stuck with you?
It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame. Edit, Uncle Ira, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Thugman, Half-Life 2.
Saruman believes is his only great power that can hold evil in check, but that is not what I have found. I found it is the small everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. Small acts of kindness and love. Why Bilbo Baggins? I don't know. Perhaps because I am afraid, and he gives me courage. Gandalf.
Either get busy living, or get busy dying.
It gets easier. Every day it gets a little easier. But you got to do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier. And #X200B. Edit, this is from BoJack Horseman, lots asking.
If you ever think about quitting, think about why you started.
You are not supposed to do good deeds because they will get you noticed. You are supposed to do them because they are the right thing to do. Jorgen von Strangle, Fairly Odd Parents, It's a Wishful Life.
Never half-ass two things when you can whole-ass one. Ron Swanson.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes. The Doctor.
Some trees flourish, others die. Some cattle grow strong, others are taken by wolves. Some men are born rich enough and dumb enough to enjoy their lives. Ain't nothing fair. John Marston, original RDR.
Rocky's quote to his son in Rocky Balboa. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing. This shadow. Even darkness must pass.
The world needs smiles and laughter to balance out the sad in this world. Sir Nightie, I'll tell you a secret. Something they don't teach you in your temple. The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal, because any moment might be our last. Everything is more beautiful because we're doomed. You will never be lovelier than you are now, and we will never be here again. Achilles, Troy.
Moths and all sorts of ugly creatures hover about a lighted candle. Can the candle help it?
There once was a tiger-striped cat. This cat died a million deaths, revived and lived a million lives, and he was owned by various people who he really didn't care for. The cat wasn't afraid to die. Then one day the cat became a stray cat, which meant he was free. He met a white female cat and the two of them spent their days together happily. Well, years passed and the white cat grew weak and died of old age. The tiger-striped cat cried a million times, and then he died too. Except this time, he didn't come back to life.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa. The bad things don't always spoil the good things and make them unimportant. The Doctor.
A person is smart. People are not.
You can't give her that. It's not safe. It's a sword. They're not meant to be safe. She's a child. It's educational. What if she cuts herself? That will be an important lesson.
Serious black goblet of fire. If you want to see the true measure of a man, watch how he treats his inferiors, not his equals.
I don't want to survive, I want to live. The captain from Wall-E really put things in perspective how important quality of life is, even if it means quantity takes a hit.
When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. Every day it gets a little easier, but you gotta do it every day. That's the hard part. We accept the love we think we deserve. Benjamin Sisko, that may be the most important thing to understand about humans. It is the unknown that defines our existence. We are constantly searching, not just for answers to our questions, but for new questions. We are explorers. We explore our lives day by day, and we explore the galaxy trying to expand the boundaries of our knowledge. And that is why I am here, not to conquer you with weapons or ideas, but to coexist and learn. Episode 1 of Deep Space Nine. Also this exchange between Garak and Bashir about the boy who cried wolf. What a gruesome tale for children. The point is, if you lie all the time, then nobody is going to believe you, even when you're telling the truth. Are you sure that's the point, Doctor? Of course, what else could it be? That you should never tell the same lie twice.
The thing about happiness is that you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. You focus on the petty bullshit, or your next job, or whatever. It's only looking back by comparison with what comes after that you really understand. That's what happiness felt like. Greater than / Conrad Kellogg. Of course it is happening inside your head, Harry, but why on earth should that mean that it is not real? Albus Dumbledore.
When you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. God on Futurama, this conversation in the book Hogfather. All right, said Susan. I'm not stupid. You're saying humans need fantasies to make life bearable. Really? As if IT was some kind of pink pill? No. Humans need fantasy to be human. To be the place where the falling angel meets the rising ape. Tooth fairies. Hogfathers. Little, yes. As practice. You have to start out learning to believe the little lies. So we can believe the big ones? Yes. Justice. Mercy. Duty. That sort of thing. They're not the same at all. You think so? Then take the universe and grind it down to the finest powder and sieve it through the finest sieve, and then show me one atom of justice, one molecule of mercy. And yet, death waved the hand. And yet you act as if there is some ideal order in the world, as if there is some some rightness in the universe by which it may be judged. Yes, but people have got to believe that, or what's the point? My point exactly. To be neutral does not mean to be indifferent or insensitive. You don't have to kill your feelings. It's enough to kill hatred within yourself. Or, lesser, greater, middling, it's all the same. Proportions are negotiated, boundaries blurred. I'm not a pious hermit, I haven't done only good in my life. But if I'm to choose between one evil and another, then I prefer not to choose at all. Gerald of Rivia.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better, it's not.
I'm sad, but at the same time I'm really happy that something could make me feel that sad. It makes me feel alive, you know. It makes me feel human. And the only way I could feel this sad now is if I felt something really good before. So I've gotta take the bad with the good, butterscotch.
I do not want to die who I am. I would like to live long enough to be someone else.
Frodo, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened. Gandalf, so do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. I feel this quote is especially relevant today. Edited for grammar. If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, and if they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely. Ra's al Ghul.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Tilda Patrick Star.
Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.
The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Nature made me a freak. Man made me a weapon. And God made me last too long. Logan.
You think having a gun makes you a man? It's when the other guy pulls a gun, that when we see who the real man is.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he, too, lives in fear of what he's created here on earth? Romero, Steve Buscemi, in Spy Kids 2.
We all make choices in life, but in the end, our choices make us. Andrew Ryan, BioShock. Best quote I've heard.
Never try, never fail. Crank, Robots, 2005. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you leave them.
A Towel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, says, is about the most massively useful thing an interstellar hitchhiker can have. Partly it has great practical value. You can wrap it around you for warmth as you bound across the cold moons of Jaglan Beta. You can lie on it on the brilliant marble-sanded beaches of Sandrignus V, inhaling the heady sea vapors. You can sleep under it beneath the stars which shine so redly on the desert world of Kakrafoon. Use it to sail a mini raft down the slow heavy river Moth. Wet it for use in hand-to-hand combat. Wrap it round your head to ward off noxious fumes or avoid the gaze of the ravenous spug bladder beast of Drow. Such a mind-bogglingly stupid animal. It assumes that if you can't see it, it can't see you. You can wave your towel in emergencies as a distress signal, and of course dry yourself off with it if it still seems to be clean enough. Towels are very useful.
The most important words a man can say are, "I will do better." These are not the most important words any man can say. I am a man, and they are what I needed to say. The ancient code of the Knights Radiant says journey before destination. Some may call it a simple platitude, but it is far more. A journey will have pain and failure. It is not only the steps forward that we must accept. It is the stumbles, the trials, the knowledge that we will fail, that we will hurt those around us. But if we stop, if we accept the person we are when we fall, the journey ends. That failure becomes our destination. To love the journey is to accept no such end. I have found, through painful experience, that the most important step a person can take is always the next one.
This must be Thursday, said Arthur to himself, sinking low over his beer. I never could get the hang of Thursdays. Arthur Dent. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
What is better? To be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? Parthenax.
Jack Nicholson, Departed. Something along the lines of we're all on the way out, act accordingly.
One day you're gonna look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world. BoJack Horseman, never give up. Never surrender. Tim Allen's character in Galaxy Quest, which I think inspired the design of the Planetary Union ships on the Orville. Doesn't matter what the press says. Doesn't matter what the politicians or the mobs say. Doesn't matter if the whole country decides that something wrong is something right. This nation was founded on one principle above all else, the requirement that we stand up for what we believe, no matter the odds or the consequences. When the mob and the press and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the whole world no. You move. Captain America.
I see now that the circumstances of one birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. Mutuo.
If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is to stop digging. ...
Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Stand in the ashes of a trillion dead souls, and ask their ghosts if honor matters. Their silence is your answer.
I'm too old for this shit. Roger Murtaugh Lethal Weapon Series. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals and you know it. Agent K.
Why are we still here just to suffer?
And so, does the destination matter? Or is it the path we take? I declare that no accomplishment has substance nearly as great as the road used to achieve it. We are not creatures of destinations. It is the journey that shapes us. Our calloused feet, our backs strong from carrying the weight of our travels, our eyes open with the fresh delight of experiences lived. The Way of Kings.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard, When one has been angry for a very long time, one gets used to it. And it becomes comfortable, like old leather. And finally, it becomes so familiar that one can't ever remember feeling any other way. Someone has already posted my other favorite Picard quote. This one helped me work through some lingering resentment.
Don't shoot, he's not Black Trunks from the Dragon Ball Super dub.
The world is full of lonely people afraid to make the first move. Sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Winnie the Pooh. And #200B. I love this quote, it aligns with my laziness. Nothing fucks you harder than time. Sir Davos Seaworth, Game of Thrones.
Do not lie, cheat or steal. These things are for lesser men. Protect the weak against the evil strong. And never allow thoughts of gain to lead you into the pursuit of evil. Trust the legend.
Tigre. Babylon 5. Talon, that was a stirring reply, Citizen Gr. Unfortunately, while all answers are replies, not all replies are answers. You did not answer the question that I asked. I often think of this when listening to politicians.
A thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. Vision, Age of Ultron, 900 years of time and space, and I've never met anybody who wasn't important before. 11th Doctor.
Power. Unlimited power.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the me that believes in you, which later became believe in yourself. Not in the you who believes in me. Not the me who believes in you. Believe in the you who believes in yourself. Kamina.
They're only as good as the world allows them to be.
Can't even kill a dead man. Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2. Quote stuck with me not because it teaches you a lesson, but because it shows how Arthur greater than remains determined even while dying from tuberculosis, just to save the people he cares about. Less than it showcases how he developed from being a grumpy pessimist at the start of the game.
Just think of it like a visit to the dentist. Probably the creepiest thing I have ever heard, given this is being said to a child as they're about to be locked in a room to fight to the death.
You ever wonder why we're here?
Do or do not, there is no try. A couple from the movie Big Fish that stuck with me, since I have a 2-year-old now, and this is from memory, so probably not word for word. Having a kid changes your life. There's the diapers, the midnight feeding, etc. The son asks if his dad did any of that when he was young. No, but I hear it's terrible. And the thing about having a kid is you spend all these years raising him, filling his head with nonsense, and at the end of the day, he turns out perfectly fine.
Belief, like fear or love, is a force to be understood as we understand the theory of relativity and principles of uncertainty. Phenomena that determine the course of our lives. Yesterday, my life was headed in one direction. Today, it is headed in another. Yesterday, I believe I would never have done what I did today. These forces that often remake time and space, that can shape and alter who we imagine ourselves to be, begin long before we are born and continue after we perish. Our lives and our choices, like quantum trajectories, are understood moment to moment. At each point of intersection, each encounter, suggests a new potential direction. David Mitchell, Cloud Atlas. This guy's walking down the street when he falls in a hole. The walls are so steep he can get out. The doctor passes by and the guy shouts up, "Hey you! Can you help me out?" The doctor writes a prescription, throws it down in the hole and moves on. Then a priest comes along and the guy shouts up, "Father, I'm down in this hole, can you help me out?" The priest writes out a prayer, throws it down in the hole and moves on. Then a friend walks by. "Hey, Joe. It's me, can you help me out?" And the friend jumps in the hole. Our guy says, "Are you stupid? Now we're both down here." The friend says, "Yeah, but I've been down here before and I know the way out."
The dad in Boys in the Hood gave the sex talk to his son. He asks the boy, "What do you know about sex?" The kid says, "Stick your thing in a girl." 9 months later a baby comes out. Dad replies, "That's pretty much it. Just remember one more thing, any idiot with a dick can make a baby. It takes a real man to be a father." Now that I'm a dad I get it.
Never let anybody see that they got to you.
Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift, that's why we call it the present. Master Roegwe 2008.
Many that live deserve death. And some that die deserve life. Can you give it to them? Then do not be too eager to deal out death in judgment, Gandalf.
Inheritance from the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, Eragon Book Series. When you teach them not to fear. Fear is good in small amounts, but when it is a constant, pounding companion, it cuts away at who you are and makes it hard to do what you know is right. Murdag, I will never forget the second sentence.
I've never said this, but don't swallow.
Success is not a goal, it's a byproduct. Coach Eric Taylor, Friday Night Lights. Okay. Here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed. 1 winner. 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast. Breakfast. Wait, maybe I should have had breakfast. A little break-why could be good for me. No, 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 stay focused. Speed. I'm faster than fast. Quicker than quick. I am lightning. Lightning McQueen, Fallout 4, sole survivor to Kellogg. In 100 years, when I finally die, I only hope I go to hell so I can kill you all over again. You piece of shit.
Pretty much anything Kriya has said to me when playing COD or TSL. But if I had to give a top 3. 3. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best. 2. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than a clenched fist. 1. It is such a quiet thing, to fall. But far more terrible is to admit it.
I'll take a potato chip. And eat high tea, light yagami.
Yip-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I tried. In the end I did. Arthur Morgan or the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Thanos.
Fuck The Witcher.
Choose a life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. Choose a fucking big television. Choose washing machines, cars, compact disc players and electrical tin openers. Choose DSY and wondering who the fuck you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting on that couch watching mind-numbing, spirit-crushing game shows, stucking junk food into your mouth. Choose rotting away in the end of it all, pishing your last in a miserable home, nothing more than an embarrassment to the selfish, fucked up rats you spawn to replace yourself. Choose your future. Choose life. But why would I want to do a thing like that?
Tyrion Lannister said sometimes a piss can feel as good as a woman, and I just think of that every time I really need to pee.
Run like hell, because you always need to. Laugh at everything, because it's always funny. Never be cruel and never be cowardly, and if you ever are, always make comments. Also this bit, you and me, once and for all. Winning? Is that what you think it's about? I'm not trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat someone, or because I hate someone, or because I want to blame someone. It's not because it's fun. God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it works, because it hardly ever does. I do what I do because it's right. Because it's decent. And above all, it's kind. Good is good in the final hour, in the deepest pit, without hope, without witness, without reward. Virtue is only virtue in extremis. Doctor Who.
I can't carry this burden for you. But I can carry you.
When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. Wanda the Owl. BoJack Horseman, Season 2 Episode 10.
This is definitely a long one, but it's what has stuck with me. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It is a very mean and nasty place, and it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit, and keep moving forward. How much you can take, and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hit, and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you are because of him, or her, or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. Rocky Balboa.
I say, we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. /Ripley, aliens. And #X200B. It's also very applicable when staring at code that is so badly designed it should be ripped out with extreme prejudice and replaced with something written from scratch rather than attempting to fix its individual flaws.
Full Metal Alchemist, you can't gain anything without losing something first. Although, if you can endure that pain and walk from it, you'll find that you now have a heart strong enough to overcome any obstacle. Shed stuck with me. Can a man still be brave if he is afraid? That is the only time he can be brave.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
You're gonna have a bad time.
You forget 1,000 things every day. Make sure this is one of them.
It's only after you've lost everything that you're free to do everything. Yoda's death noise in the Lego game / his scream when he jumps at Dooku.
Sometimes you must hurt in order to know, fall in order to grow, lose in order to gain, because the greatest lessons in life are taught through pain. Pain / Nagato, Naruto.
I may be but small, but I will die a colossus. Ludolith, Dark Souls 3. Oh yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Rafiki the Legend, Lion King 1994.
1. Birth is a curse and existence is a prison. 2. Why can't we have teeth flatteners and bees with penises? Michael from The Good Place.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Michael Scott. When Thanos said reality is often disappointing.
Go, then. There are other worlds than these.
Who holds the devil, let him hold him well, he hardly will be caught a second time.
Thank you for watching. We publish amazing Reddit stories every day. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to keep the dog smiling.